Good morning. Hello, Syed. Hello, Jimmy. Syed, if you have questions, go ahead and ask. Nothing's stopping you. You can write your questions in the chat. Hello, Susu. I just got started, everybody, so I just turned the camera on 4 minutes ago. So we're just getting warmed up here. We're waiting for people to arrive, and then I will start teaching. But if you have questions, then as soon as you're in the room, ask. Go ahead and start. I'm waiting for you. You are not waiting for me to start. I am waiting for you to start asking me questions. All right? About delayed notifications, you wrote feed. Okay, so I've told them about the delayed notifications. I told them about that years ago. So I wouldn't expect much, Susu. Sometimes sometimes I'm not sure if something is a problem on Hello Talk or if it's something that they have chosen to do. So sometimes I think that the delayed notifications are not a problem, that it might actually be a feature. Now, don't ask me to explain the logic of it. I'm just trying to tell you that sometimes I think that they make changes that are just beneficial for their interests, but not necessarily for yours. That's called business. Okay, so a few days from now, you'll face a visa interview, so your current speaking situation is not well. Syed, if you have only a few days, man, there's nothing I can really do to help you with your English in a couple of days, Syed. What I can do is I can tell you that all you need to do is go, relax, and talk to them. Just relax and talk to them about you and your life. That's it. Okay? The more you worry, the worse it's going to be. So don't worry about it because there's nothing you can really do. Just go in and relax and be yourself and just talk to them in the best way you can. That's the best advice I can give you. Okay? There's nothing I can do to help your English in a couple of days that will make any difference, with the exception of just telling you to relax and be confident. Okay? Hello, Leo. Good to see you. How can I improve my business English? There's a this website here is pretty good for starting with business English. Go to this website here and then look down on the left side of the menus. I'm sorry, wait, hold on. Let me give you the basic one here. This one. Go to this website and then scroll down on the left side menu and you'll find a big menu that says Business English. And there are a bunch of things that you can try with Business English. Okay? Oh. Huh. But then also, there are many, many other websites that have business English pages. I think you should try to explore as many websites as possible that offer anything about business English, because websites are probably the best place to learn business English, because it has to be current. It has to be updated, right? So websites should stay updated. Too many resources are confusing. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I've never seen it that way. If I want to learn about American history, I can read one American history book or I can read 20. And I promise you, I will understand American history better after reading 20 compared to reading one. Okay? Yeah, I know it's more work, but my goal is not to do less work. My goal is to understand and know better. So, what I would say, Can, is try to use as many resources as you can. All right? Use as many as possible, because the more resources you use, the more variety you're putting into your learning. Okay? Variety will keep the learning feeling fresh. All right? Or it will help to keep it feeling fresh. All right? Okay, this is a very simple room where all you have to do is ask me a question, okay? This is like, you know how there's a machine, and you have to put the coin in the machine to make the machine work, right? Well, that's like me, but the coin is a question. You ask me a question and I will give you an answer. All right? So don't just sit here. Ask me something. Challenge me. Ask me something. I don't know everything, and I'm not trying to know everything. I'm only trying to help you to learn. So if you ask me a question and I know the answer, I will answer. If I don't know the answer, then I will tell you I don't know. Because that's okay. It's okay to not know. How can I pass the interview? I don't know, Syed. I don't know, man. I told you, the only thing you can do is go, be relaxed, and be yourself. I cannot promise that you will pass, but I can tell you next time you should prepare earlier. When people come to my room and sometimes they say, I have to take the IELTS test in 2 days, or I have to take the TOEFL test next week. Well, guess what? I can't really help you now because you came to me too late. If you have a month or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, now we can work on it. Now we can prepare. Now I can help you. But if your interview or your test is in 2 or 3 days, I can't help you. All right? So, Syed, just relax and be yourself. That's all you can really do. Okay? There's no guarantee that you will pass, but if you are relaxed and confident, you have a better chance. Our Susu's asking, are people more willing to accept emotions over opinions? Some hold shallow, wrong views, yet meet people's emotional needs. Yeah, so this is just part of being a human. Humanity is always trying to rectify or balance between how you feel about something and your opinions about something and the actual facts about something. Okay, so this is why education is so important, because you can learn facts all day. You can learn every fact, but if you don't know how to handle those facts, if you don't know how to process those facts, then you will probably have emotional responses, or your views on those things will be more opinion based than fact based. Okay, so it's important that you recognize the difference between a fact and an opinion. And many people really don't. There are many, many, many people who really don't make a difference between something that they feel and something that is. But that's an important thing to start considering. Okay? I don't know what I don't know. Terrible. Well, that's true. You can't know what you don't know. It's that's the nature of human ignorance. You write your own songs. Would I be interested in collabing someday? Sure. Absolutely, Carlos. Yeah, I love doing that. It's a little tricky to do, but we could maybe work it out. It depends on, how you record and what kind of things you do, but possibly, Carlos, that'd be fun. Hello, Waleed. Teacher Mark. Leo is asking, Teacher Mark, Chinese native speakers can easily understand texts with jumbled characters. Can native English speakers do the same? Okay. You mean when we do like words that are, the word is jumbled and misspelled, or you mean the sentences are misplaced, or both, Leo? In general, Leo, most humans are able to do that trick where you can read something even if the letters are not in the right order. That's a trick of neurology. The brain naturally separates and organizes things the way it wants to see them. So if you've learned them that way, then it will try to process them that way. So that's you'll see that all the time. Like this one, hold on. It's called typoglycemia. Typoglycemia. And like this one, can you guys read this? Let's see. Wait, let me find a better one. Okay, look at this. Can you read this? Can you read this message? This message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is automatically reading it without even thinking about it. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. It says, this message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is automatically reading it without even thinking about it. Be proud. Only certain people can read this. That's what it says. So this is called typoglycemia. It's an effect of the brain where the brain naturally tries to sort out information in the way that it understands it. Yeah, it's like using visual patterns and context clues to read. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see. I think I understand what you mean. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Leo, yes and no. Probably we'll be able to do it the same way that you can. So, if I look at Chinese and I see, like, if I see the character for hao ni shi wo ma ke, if I see that in the wrong order, I think I will know what it means. I think I'll know, like, oh, okay, I can put this in there, ni hao wo shi ma ke. Right? I think I could do that. But if it were very difficult, then no. How many passages should you read to improve your reading in 5 months? Rohan, you should read all of them. That's a silly question, Rohan. There is no number that's the right number. It's not about how many times you do it. It's about how you feel after doing it that many times. So, some people can do something only 10 times, and after 10 times, they feel relaxed and confident. So they're done. Some people, they need to do it 100 times before they feel relaxed and confident, before they're done. Some people need to do it 1,000 times before they're relaxed and confident, before they're done. Okay, so it's not about how many, it's about how you feel after that many. Okay, so maybe for you, it could be 27 times, 27 passages. Maybe that's enough, but I don't know. There is nobody who can tell you that, because only you can say if you feel comfortable or not. Okay? Syed, if you are very confident, then you will be fine. Could you suggest some daily English exercises? Everyone learns differently, but we'd still like to hear your suggestions. Okay, so daily English exercises. There are 8 parts of language: reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So, if there are 8 parts of writing, now you can, or 8 parts of language, sorry, 8 parts of language. Now you can think about which parts are the easiest for you and which ones are the hardest for you, right? So choose 2 that are easy for you and choose 2 that are the hard ones for you, right? So maybe you're really good at speaking and you're really good at writing, but you're not good at reading and listening. Or you're not good at grammar and listening. Okay, so choose 2 that are your strengths and choose 2 that are your weaknesses. And then, when you find out what your weaknesses are, then you can develop exercises to work on those every day. So if you're working on your reading, then go to any number of the websites that I have shown you. I've shown many, many websites on my website to help you with reading. That's what you should do. Okay, so I can't give a basic answer for everyone because everyone has different strengths and everyone has different weaknesses. But what I can tell you is that you need to focus on your weaknesses, figure out which ones they are, and then focus on them. And then all you have to do is just create as many exercises as you possibly can to engage with those weaknesses. Okay? And my website has many links for you to help you with that. Can I tell us something like a short story for learning more vocabulary? Nuna. Okay. Everybody, how many of you are new? Who's new? Anyone? Mayra is new. Anyone else new? If you are new, you should say me. I'm new. Me, 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 me. Nor is new. Okay, so listen. I'm not new. I have been on this app for almost 13 years. Okay? And I have been live streaming for about 5 years. And my job, I am a teacher. Okay? So, if you come to my room, this is the place where you can come and ask me your questions. Okay? I am not going to teach you anything. I won't prepare anything for you. But I will answer your questions. So if you have a question and you ask it, I will answer it. Okay? But if you come here and just say, well, why didn't you teach us grammar today? No, that's not how it works. Bring me your questions and I will help you. That's how this works. Bring me your questions and I will help you. All right? This app has been around for about 13 years. That's right. I started using it just after they started. So, yeah. How can you get clarity about your weaknesses? Kessia wants to know. Kessia, which things make you the most nervous to do? Which things make you feel confident and comfortable? Those are your strengths, right? Which things make you feel nervous, like, oh no, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I'm scared. I don't want to be embarrassed. Those are your weaknesses. Whatever you're afraid of, that's your weakness, right? So just think about whatever you're afraid of in English, and those are your weaknesses. Okay? Okay, let's see. Please be patient. I'm trying to answer all the questions. And by the way, Nuna, my point was this. I'm sorry. This is my PDF file. Everything you need to know about me is in that file right there. So if you want to know my live streaming schedule, it's in there. If you want to know my background, it's in there. If you want to know my website and my YouTube channel and my blog, it's in that file. All right. And I also have 4 free articles that I wrote for you that are very important articles that will help you with your English. Okay. So copy that link, the link that I just put in the chat. Copy that link, paste it to your browser, and open it up and read it. Okay? And then you'll find out who I am and what we are doing here. All right? And Noor, on my website, this is my website here. This one here. Sorry. There we go. This is my website here. If you go to my website, on my website, it's free. You can find many links to study English. Everything you need to study English is on my website. Okay? Lots and lots of websites, other links, other websites to work on your English. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, grammar, TOEFL, IELTS, it's all on my website. Okay? All right. Please be patient. The next question is, I just asked you, I decided to change professions. However, I've never attended an English interview before. How can I prepare for it? Bella, so you decided to change professions from what to what? What were you doing before, Bella, and what are you doing now? You have an English interview, so I assume it's a job that uses English. Jimmy says, don't worry, my broken English got me 3 overseas job offers. That's right. Jimmy is somewhat correct that when you are working for a company, there are some companies that they want you to have perfect grammar because they have a lot of paperwork. So the paperwork has to be right. But there are many companies where it's not really about the paperwork, it's just about the connections and the relationships, right? Guanxi, right? So if it's just about the connections and the relationships, then it's not about how perfect your English is. It's about how comfortable and relaxed your English is and how much you can make someone else feel comfortable and relaxed. So if you have perfect grammar and perfect English, but you can't make an American feel comfortable, then that doesn't help you with your business, right? But if your grammar and your vocabulary are maybe not perfect, but you are relaxed and confident and you smile, that might help your company, right? So not every company requires you to have perfect English, okay? Intuition versus logic, would I explain it? Mona, logic is just what makes factual and practical sense, right? 1 + 1 = 2. Math, it's logic, right? So the closer it is to 1 + 1 = 2, that's logical, okay? But intuition is a feeling inside of you. The word intuition, to intuit, it's a verb actually. The word intuit is related to the word, the original meaning, it means to tutor someone, to teach someone, to tutor someone, was to intuit them. That's the original meaning. But later, the meaning became to look at or consider. And then it became the meaning is to know by immediate perception or to know without reasoning, right? Without thinking about it, right? So what that means is your intuition is an instant feeling about whether this is good or bad, right? So maybe you go on a date with some guy and he's the way he talks is a little weird, you know? He seems kind of nice, but the way he talks is a little bit weird and he makes you uncomfortable. That's your intuition. It means you don't really know this guy, but you have a feeling that something's not right. Okay? So intuition is the way you immediately feel about something. Okay? All right, let's see. Hello, Valerie. Hello. Hello, everybody. All right. Is fluency or accent more important? Neither. Accent is definitely not important. Accent is only important if you have a terrible accent. And when I mean terrible, I don't mean like, oh, this accent from this country is really terrible. No, I mean some people, let's say you have an Egyptian accent, an Arabic Egyptian accent. Okay, are all Egyptian people who have an Arabic accent, do they all speak English the exact same way? No. Some of them are very, very clear, right? They still have an accent, but their language is very clear. It's easy to understand. But there are some people who speak English and their accent is very, very strong, so that means it's very hard to understand their English, and that is a problem. Okay, so you don't have to have a perfect accent, you don't have to have my accent, but you do have to have an accent that is clear enough to understand. Okay? And then the word fluent, I have talked about this a million times here. The word fluent doesn't mean anything because you can't define it. If you put 10 people in the room and all of them say they're fluent, right? You have 10 people who are fluent in English. Do they all have the exact same knowledge? Do they know the same words? Do they have the same exact grammar? Do they have the same exact accent? No. That's 10 people with 10 different kinds of vocabulary, 10 different kinds of grammar, and 10 different kinds of accent. So the word fluent is a weird, stupid word that does not help you because you want that word to mean, I'm fluent now, so that means I'm done. When people use the word fluent, I want to be fluent. What you're saying is, I want to be finished learning a language. But guess what? That's not possible. It's not possible to finish learning a language. Do you know anyone in your country who knows every word of your language? The only way that you can be completely fluent is if you know every single word. In the dictionary, that's how they say what fluency is. They say fluency means the ability to speak comfortably about things. Okay? But no one can speak comfortably about every single thing. So the word fluent is a word that I think was a marketing trick. It's a marketing trick. The word fluent gives a business something to tell you so that you can feel like, oh, I want to buy this product because if I buy this, then I'll be fluent. I can finish. You can't finish. They're trying to lie to you. They're trying to trick you. So let me ask you a question. When someone plays the piano, does anyone ever talk about finishing playing the piano? Has anyone ever said, oh, well, I was learning the piano, but I finished, so now I'm done? Has anyone ever said that before? No. No one has ever said that they can finish learning the piano because they know that you can't finish learning music. Just like you can't finish learning language. So if you can't finish it, then forget this word fluent. Forget that word. All right? I just want you to work on being comfortable. Comfortable and relaxed. That's the goal. Okay? Everybody gets to that point differently. Okay? Everybody takes a different amount of time and a different way of studying to reach that point. Okay? But the goal of language is to feel comfortable using that language to express your feelings or what you want to say. Okay? So the word fluent was created for marketing. All right? Thank you, Susu. Yes. Next question is, Chinese is basically made up of pictographs, so what did people base the English writing system on when creating it? Leo, actually, the English alphabet was somewhat similar to Chinese. The English alphabet was developed from Egyptian hieroglyphics. Wait a minute, I'll show you. Okay, so over 3,500 years ago, let me see, I think it's this one. Yeah, look at this. Look at this awesome picture. This is how English came from ancient languages, pictographic languages. Okay, let's see, get rid of this. All right, let's look. Okay, so up here we have 1750 BCE. God, I hate these stupid things. All right, this is Proto-Sinaitic, which means it's just a very early language that existed in the Middle East or in the Levant, in the Mediterranean area. Okay, so here is the first letter A, B, C, D, E. Then it became Phoenician, and the Phoenicians wrote it like this. And look at that. That looks a lot more like, oh, and look here. Now there's that one. Oh, and look here. There's Archaic Latin. So here is Sinaitic, Phoenician, Greek, Latin, Roman, and modern. Okay, so yeah, it actually comes from ancient Egyptian and Phoenician and Sinaitic languages, like which just basically means the early hieroglyphic-based languages of that region. Okay? All right, let's see. Please be patient. I'm trying to answer all of the questions. In Brazil, I don't see many ways to improve my conversation skills. Kessia, what city are you in Brazil? What city? Belo Horizonte. Oh, I don't know that one. Is that a big city or a small city? It's probably a small one, yeah? Are you closer to a big city? Is there a big city that you visit sometimes? So what I will tell you is, Kessia, you can find natives in many, many big cities, but you have to go find them, right? So if you're in Sao Paulo, when next time you go to Sao Paulo, if you want to, look for the top 3 restaurants in Sao Paulo that have a great burger. Look for a restaurant that has a really, really good hamburger, like it's famous for the best hamburger, right? Then go there on a Saturday afternoon. I will bet $100 that you will find some local natives there eating lunch. And you can say to them, hey, can I buy you a beer and practice my English with you? Or can I buy you some French fries and practice my English with you for a few minutes, right? That is one way to do it. That can be done. Another way, I guarantee, let me show you. Wait a minute. Give me 5 seconds. I'll find something for you. Okay, there is... Here we go. Here we go. This is, there's a group. Every major city in the world, they have English-speaking clubs. A club that you can just meet with once a week, and it's maybe a restaurant or a cafe, and a bunch of people get together, and they just practice speaking English. That's it. So I just found a few of them, right? Here's one right here. This is Foreigners and English Speakers in Sao Paulo. It has 11,000 members. I think it's this link. Here is the link. Oh, wait. Why is that so big? That shouldn't be so big. Let's try this one. Copy link address. Paste. That's weird. Wait a minute. Let me try that again. Oh, it is that long. Okay. So there's a group called meetup.com. Meetup.com is a website that can show you... Oh, man, it's going to be too long. The link is too long. I can't paste it. But all you have to do is go online and do a search. Type in your city. Type in Sao Paulo, or type in the biggest city that's close to you, right? Then type in English-speaking club. And you'll find a bunch of groups. People who get together to meet and just talk and speak. And it's not classes. There's no pressure. It's fun. It's a great way to make friends. Okay? So if you live in a big city, you can find one of these clubs probably. Okay? All right. Let's see. You can't open that link because it's not allowed in mainland China. You mean my PDF file? Yeah, for my PDF file, right. Send a private message to Susu, and Susu will help you out. Susu can give it to you. All right? Is there a difference between if and whether? Yeah, I talked about this just yesterday, I think it was. I'm looking for the right page for you. There's a good page that explains this. Okay. One moment. All right. So when do we use if and when do we use whether? We use if for things that are cause and effect. So if blah, 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 then blah, 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 right? I will go to the park if it stops raining, right? That's when we use if for conditions, right? But we also use whether. We use whether for choices. So when we're talking about something like, I don't know whether to buy the red shirt or the blue shirt. I don't know whether to buy the red shirt or the blue shirt. That's a choice between two things, right? Or I am unsure whether I should go. I'm unsure whether I should go. So in this case, there's a choice of whether I do go or whether I don't go, right? Whether or not, we often say. Whether or not, okay? And then there is some overlap, right? There are some times when you could say either one. So for example, indirect questions, questions that are not direct, you can say, I wonder if she likes coffee. But you can also say, I wonder whether she likes coffee. Those are the same, okay? Or you could say, well, you could say, I wonder if she likes coffee, or I wonder whether she likes coffee. Or you could also say, I am wondering whether she likes coffee or tea. Okay? So, the basic answer is use if for things that are cause and effect. If this, then that. And use whether for things that are choices. But there's sometimes when you can use them interchangeably, and that's when it's for an indirect question, right? Like you're not talking to someone. I wonder if, I wonder whether, okay? It's indirect. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. One moment. Okay, the next question is when should you use under and below? That one is a little bit tricky because not everybody follows the rules about this. Not everyone follows the rules. So sometimes you might hear some natives say this in the wrong way. Okay, but there is a rule. The way you use it is under is when you want to talk about things that are physically beneath you, right? Physically beneath you. So under my chair, right? 下面, right? Or you talk about under when you're talking about things that are covering something up, right? So maybe I say, I have a t-shirt under my sweater. I have a t-shirt under my sweater. It's beneath it. Yeah, it's physically covered by another thing, right? Or you use under when you're talking about age or time or quantity. So, for example, if you're under 21, you can't go to a bar in the United States. If you're under 21, under the age of 21, okay? We won't say below, we'll say under, right? For time, we'll say, Like maybe you're running a race. You're running a race and you want to come in under 5 minutes. You want to come in under 5 minutes. He came in just under 5 minutes. So that's a time amount. So we use the word under. Let's see. Or quantity. So you can have, let me think of quantity one. Like under, oh, I know. At the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, there are many places where you can pay, right? But there are usually one or two in the first couple aisles, the first couple places where you can pay. You can only have 15 items or fewer, right? So if you have 50 things to buy, you can't buy them there. You have to go to another aisle. But this aisle is only for people who have just a few things. Under 15. 15 or under items. Okay? And then below is when we're talking about a position of something. So, or a measurement. So for example, when you talk about the temperature, right? Sometimes we say, tonight the temperature will be below zero. Below zero, okay? Or we talk about when you sign your name, you can say, sign your name below the line. Okay, now that one, but see, that's an example of what I'm saying is many people might say under for that. Sign your name under the line. That's one that many people will use interchangeably, right? So it is a little tricky. Or for distance. So this is another one where if you have a plane, the planes, they try to fly above the clouds, but sometimes they're not above the clouds, they're below the clouds. So it's a level of a position, right? Okay? But again, it's not always very clear because there are many, many people who will use under and below almost interchangeably. Not that it's correct, but they do it. Okay? And by the way, Waleed, Susu told me about your group where you tell people about my live streams. Thank you so much for that. That's very, very nice of you. And I didn't ask you to do that. That's so nice of you to do. I appreciate that. You're still in FIFA mode? Okay. What's the strangest meat I've ever tried, and what meat would I never eat again? Wow. I think probably the strangest thing I've had is like either chicken or pig intestines, you know? I've had stomach, I've had pig intestines and chicken intestines, and I've had chicken balls, and I've had chicken butt, and I've had gizzard, and I'm not afraid. I'll try just about anything, you know. I'm not saying I loved it, but it was okay. You know, my friend took me to his favorite local soup place, and they were famous for the soup that was pig intestine soup. And I had some, and it was okay. It was a little different. You know, you could taste a little funky flavor. It was a little weird, but it was okay. So what meat would I never try again? The only food that I've seen that I really, really, really don't want to try is called balut. It's a Filipino Indonesian thing, I think. And It's basically a baby chicken that's still in the egg. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to eat the bones and all that and the beak. No, thank you. So that's the only one that I'm not interested in. Just about everything else I would try, though. Okay, let's see. Will AI actually upgrade human communication, or are we just evolving into a world of automated misunderstandings? I think for some people it will upgrade human communication or facility. That I think that AI is helping to facilitate more people to do things that they wanted to do, but they didn't know how, or they couldn't by themselves, right? They didn't have the money to hire somebody. They didn't have the expertise. So there are many people who I think are using AI now to facilitate doing things that they could not do before AI. However, there will be some people, there always are some people who use technology to be more lazy, not to be more smart, right? There are 6 ways of Chinese character creation. Pictography is only one of them. Really? I don't think I know that. I don't think I knew that. Let's see. Since the cause is still a mystery, what are the most popular theories that experts have about why the Great Vowel Shift happened? Ooh, wow. So there's something called the Great Vowel Shift, everybody. The Great Vowel Shift is during the development of English. There was a time period somewhere between the 14th and the 18th centuries when the language pronunciation changed a lot, but we're not entirely sure why. There are many reasons that people think are possible reasons that may have helped, but it's probably not one reason. I think that's the big problem, was that for many, many, many years or decades, I think many, many people were really trying to find one reason why this thing happened. But I don't think it was one reason. I think it was called a confluence. Confluence of events means a bunch of things that happened and they met. Like, so this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened, and they all met at this one point, and that's why the Great Vowel Shift happened. Okay, so one of the things that happened was social mobility. Social mobility means some poor people became not poor, right? Maybe they were not rich, but they worked up the ladder to become more like a merchant class, right? So before the 14th century, most people were poor farmers. They were peasants, right? They didn't really have a job. They were just farmers, workers, we'll call them, right? But then between the 14th and the 18th century, commerce started developing. Commerce is business, right? More. And so more and more people became the merchant class. And that means they started selling things, and that gave them more money. And then they became slightly less poor. We won't say rich, but they were, kind of middle class. And because they became richer, they were talking to people who were richer and used more rich language. So that's one reason that it changed. And there's also the plague. Do you guys know what the Black Death is? The Black Death, we call it. The plague. There were many plagues. There were many, many of them. But there was one in particular that was really, really bad. And it killed somewhere between 1/3 and maybe even 1/2 of Europe was killed by this plague. And when you kill that many people, that's a lot of people. That's going to affect the language, right? Suddenly you have fewer people to contribute, so that means it's a smaller sample size, and that means changes happen more quickly in a smaller sample size. So that's part of it. And then there's this theory they have that's called the pool chain theory. I'm trying to explain. Let me think how I can explain this. It's a linguistic theory where there were certain vowels like I and U that started changing the sound from a singular sound to a what's called a diphthong, which means two vowels put together, right? And when they did that, that's why so many sounds in English, there's more than one way to pronounce it, is because of that, right? So it's hard to explain, but there's a linguistic theory that says that certain vowels that were changed led to other changes. Let's just say that. Okay, and then another influence was French. The French language became much, much more influential on English between the 14th century and the 18th century. French became really important in English around 1066 during the Norman invasion of France, or of England. But that's 1066. That's pretty early. But then, over those next few hundred years, French became much, much, much more important to English. And so French influence played a big role. And French is one of the reasons why English is so difficult. Like, if you find a word that's really hard to pronounce, there's a very good chance that it's a French word. Like, how about this word? I remember when I was a kid and I saw this word and I was like, what is that? What's this word? Do you guys know what that word is? It looks French. It is French. It is French. The word. Can you guess how it might be pronounced? Can you write what you think it should sound like? Can anyone phonetically guess what it should sound like? The word is ennui. Ennui. And yeah, that's French. So ennui is a feeling of tiredness and boredom kind of put together. When you're bored and tired, that's ennui, a feeling of ennui, right? And so, yeah, there are a lot of words that are, let me see, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it's called a heterograph. A heterograph. It means that it's a word that doesn't, the pronunciation is from the original language. Like, for example, this word. Do you guys know that word? That word is bourgeois. Bourgeois. That's that word, bourgeois. And bourgeois means, the original meaning of bourgeois means middle class, but the meaning in the modern sense means rich. And sometimes the slang word is bougie. That's really bougie. That means like something a rich people would like, or some rich people would do. Or this word. How about this word? What is that word? And how do you pronounce it? Abdul knows because Abdul speaks French. Yeah, this word is faux. Faux. And F-A-U-X, faux, it means fake. Fake. False. Artificial. Fake. Faux. Okay? Or this word. Whoops. Rendezvous. Rendezvous. A rendezvous, it means a meeting place, a place to meet is a rendezvous. Okay? A lot of silent letters. That's right. That's French. French, I would say most of the time when there's a problem with pronunciation in English, it's because of the French words. Déjà vu, café, café, bonjour, right? These are all French words, right? Or how about this word? That word is not report. That word is rapport. Rapport. The T is not pronounced. It's French. Rapport. Rapport means the reputation that you carry with you. So if you have a good rapport, that means that when you meet with that person, they know you, you know them, they're comfortable with you, so they like talking to you, so you can do business. You have a good rapport, right? Yeah, it's like, it's not just your reputation, it's the reputation that you carry with you. So that means, like, people know about that before you get there. Right? That's a reputation. And then rapport is like, you've built it, you talk to them, you start talking more, and now the more you build that, you feel better, right? The more you talk to them, the more business you do, you have a better business relationship, so that's a better rapport. And that word is related to the word report, because the word report means to carry back something. And your rapport is basically like, how do they explain it? Where's that one word where they use, wait a minute. Harmony, agreement, intercourse, bearing. That's not the right word either. En rapport. Formerly common enough to regard it and pronounced as English, but in his time the word seemed to have... interesting. Yeah, anyway. Lots. Resume. There's another one. Resume. That's another word that is a French word that the pronunciation is different, right? Yeah. So, English is funny that way. English is a mix of languages, so English does become different. Hello, Famelza. Should we focus with words when we speak? Let's see. Like, is it formal or not? Famelza, the language you use usually should match the environment you're in. So, if you're in a simple environment, use simple language. If you're in a simple place, use simple language. Okay? If you're in a formal environment, use formal language. Okay? So usually, I don't use formal language unless I'm in a formal place. Okay? All right. Luddites, especially after mentioning the Industrial Revolution. So, what's the meaning of a Luddite? The Luddites were a group of people that didn't believe in the use of technology at all. Not at all. So, the word Luddite is now, it's an insult. When we call someone a Luddite, it means that you're very backward and that you're afraid to use technology. You're afraid to use new technology. So if somebody says, hey, don't be a Luddite, that means like, hey, like a lot of people are like that with AI, right? Some people are like, I don't want to even use it. I'm afraid of it. That's like being a Luddite. So the Luddites were a 19th century group of English factory workers. They were textile workers. They made things for clothing, we'll say, okay? And they broke all the machinery. They broke all the machines in the factory, all the looms. They were breaking them because they wanted to lower wages. Let's see. So basically, where is it? Yeah. So these were people who used to do everything by hand, right? So they would sew clothing by hand. They didn't use any machines. And then the machines came along and they said, oh no, these machines are going to ruin our lives. So they went in and they destroyed all the machines. They broke all the machines. So these are the Luddites. Okay? There's another term, though, too. I'm trying to think of what that is. What's the other term? Yeah, it was them. It was the Luddites, but I thought there was another term. No. No, that's it. Just the Luddites. And they just, yeah, they killed them all because they were like fighting against technology. So there's a lesson to be learned there. If you think they're going to get rid of AI, they're not. They killed people for the loom. You don't think they're going to kill people for AI? They certainly will. Okay, let's see. Hello, Johnny. Please be patient, everybody. It's hard for me to answer all the questions, but if you have a question, just write it and I'll do my best to try to get to it as quickly as possible. What's graphy? Graphy, the word graphy, if you see graphy at the end of something, graph is a word that means something written, right? So geography, in this case, geo means world. In this case, graph would be map, right? So geography is about maps of the world or maps that are in the world. How many languages do I speak? Nadia, I speak English, I speak Chinese, but poorly. And I speak music. Music is a language, and I'm a musician, so I speak music. Nadia, I also know just a little tiny bit about many other languages, but not enough to speak them, just enough about them. Okay, let's see. Okay, I caught up with all the questions. Hello, Marco. How are you, my friend? Do I use the idiom shoot the breeze? Sure. Yeah. Shoot the breeze means chat casually, just to have a chat. That's all. So if I'm talking to a friend of mine and you come up to us, Caroline, and you say, hey, what are you guys doing? Maybe I'll just say, hey, we're just shooting the breeze. It just means talking casually. It's not necessarily gossiping, no. It just means talking casually, shooting the breeze. Do you want to shoot the breeze for a minute? Means do you want to chat for a minute? Do you have time to shoot the breeze? Means do you have time to chat? Okay. What's the difference between missing out and losing out, or miss out and lose out? Let me think about that for a minute. One moment. Yeah, I cannot type today. All right. Today, Junior, come on. Wow, super slow. Okay, so miss out means to miss an experience. Lose out means usually to lose in a competition. So, okay, so for example, if you fail to experience something, then you missed out. If you didn't take part in something, then you missed out. If there was a positive thing that you didn't do, then you missed out, right? So if everybody went to a party, I'm having a party, and it was a great party, but you didn't go, so you missed out. It's an opportunity or an experience that you could have gone to that you didn't go to. It was a positive thing that you didn't do. That's something that you missed out on, okay? Lose out means more like you want this job. You want this new job, but your friend also wants that job, or another guy you know wants the same job, right? And he got it. He got the job, you didn't. You lost out. You lost out on that job. So that is an opportunity that was you lost because of a defeat. A defeat. You were defeated somehow. Somebody beat you. Okay, so lose out is more about being beaten Miss out is just about a lost opportunity. Okay? Graffiti. What about graffiti? Is it related with graphy? Yes. The word graffiti is Italian. There's actually a plural form, graffito, which it means just scribbling or writing on the wall. So there's a Greek word that before the Latin word, the Greek word is graphine. Graphine was to scratch or draw or write. So the word graphy comes from the Greek word graphine, which meant to write or draw something. And so there are many, many graphy words. And if you see any word that has graphy at the end of it, it means something that was a process of writing or recording something, right? So, for example, there are many graphies. Bibliography, autograph, biography, calligraphy, cartography, choreography, or it should be choreography. Let's see, climatography, cosmography, cryptography. All of those are something about writing or recording something. All right? Are there any new words lists? What do you mean new words lists? What book do I recommend to study English? Jason, that depends on what you want to study. Jason, if you're just talking about grammar, there's a book that I like to use that's online and it's free. This is book 1. It's a basic book, but it's very good. I probably have 60 or 70 books for grammar, but that's my favorite one. All right, and it's online for free. All right, so use that one. Hello, Esther. How are you? I don't like the new feature that you can scroll the live streams in Hello Talk. It's awful. I haven't seen that. I'm not sure what you mean. Hello, little finger. Are cricket and rugby popular in America? Rugby is somewhat popular in college and high school, but not very popular. My nephews played rugby, though. Both of my nephews played rugby, but it's not high on the list. I'm not sure where it ranks, but it's not super high on the list. Cricket, I have never seen anyone play or watch cricket in the United States. I have seen cricket outside of the United States. I've watched it on TV when I was overseas, and I know people who watch it from overseas. But in the United States, I don't know anyone who watches cricket or pays attention to cricket. I've never seen a cricket TV show, or cricket on TV. I've never seen it played on TV in America, so it's not popular here. Definitely. Are we humans afraid from evolution and technology, or we just not understand new things coming? So, Waleed, humans have always feared what's new because new things have risk, and risk is dangerous. So, evolution has made us skeptical and fearful about new things, right? So, Waleed, the story of the tomato is a perfect example, Waleed. The tomato, where is the tomato from, everyone? It's not from Italy, no. The tomato is from Mexico. The word tomato originally is from a language called Nahuatl. I think that's how it's pronounced. It was the language that they had before Spanish in Mexico. That was one of the major languages that was there. It was an Aztec language, that's right. And they had many words that come from this. Tomato is one of them. And it means the bursting fruit, because tomatoes, when they get big, they get so big that they split, right? Their skin breaks, right? That's called the bursting fruit. And where did they come from? Oh, well, it's Columbus. Before Columbus came and found America, before Columbus did that, there were no tomatoes in Europe. There was no tomatoes in Italian food. And Chinese food with the chilies, the hot chilies, those also did not exist yet. So when you think of Thai food and you think of Chinese food, sometimes you think of the hot chili pepper. Well, if you go back before Columbus, you won't find those because they weren't there yet. Yeah, right? So it's called the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange is when Columbus brought many foods that were from Europe to America, the Americas, and then he brought back many foods to Europe. And one of the foods he brought back was the tomato. And when he brought that food back, it was new. And it was scary to many people. In particular, the rich people were afraid of tomatoes. They thought that tomatoes were poisonous. So the rich people would not eat them. And there were two reasons why rich people thought the tomato was poisonous. They thought it was poisonous, one, because the tomato plant looks a lot like another plant called the nightshade. It's from the same family of plants. And the nightshade plant is very poisonous. It was a famous plant for poison, the nightshade. So when they saw the tomato and it looked a lot like the nightshade, they thought maybe this is poisonous. But there was a second reason why they didn't eat them, and they thought they were poisonous, because they were getting sick. There were some people who were eating tomatoes and they were getting sick, and they didn't know why. They thought it must be the tomatoes. It wasn't the tomatoes. Well, it wasn't really the tomatoes. There were rich people who were eating tomatoes, and there were poor people who were eating tomatoes. And the rich people were getting sick, but the poor people were not. It was a very funny, weird thing. So how did that happen? Why were the rich people getting sick, but the poor people were not getting sick? It's because the rich people had nicer plates. Poor people ate on wooden plates, plates that were made with wood. And if you put tomatoes on a wooden plate, you can eat that and it's just fine, no problem. But if you put a tomato onto the plate that the rich person has, rich people used a kind of metal called pewter. pewter was a metal. It's a very soft metal that they liked to use because it was so soft. You could use it to make many, many things very easily, right? But the problem is the reason why pewter was easy to mold and shape was because pewter has lead in it. Do you know what lead is? What is lead? Hello, Sheng, and hello, Miguel. Yes, lead is a kind of metal, and it's poisonous, right? It's not good for humans, right? And tomatoes, the tomato is a very acidic fruit. It's a very acidic vegetable or fruit. We call it a fruit, right? So the acid in the tomato was getting on the pewter plate, and the acid was pulling the lead out of the plates, and that was making them sick. So the poor people ate tomatoes, and they were just fine. But the rich people ate them, and they did get sick because they were eating them on the pewter plate that had lead in them. And as a matter of fact, the first name, they didn't call them tomatoes in Europe. They called them poison apples. Poison apples. The word apple a long time ago was like a general word for almost any fruit, right? So in Italian, the word the word tomato in Italian is pomodoro, and that means golden apple or golden fruit. You racked your brain trying to understand what he was talking about. You don't understand me. Did you miss it, Amelia? I was trying to explain that the tomato was a new thing, and it was scary because it was new. And new things have a risk, right? And guess what? The poor people, when you're poor, you have less to risk. So if you're hungry, you're going to try it when you're poor, right? If you're rich, if you think it might be poisonous, you won't try it because you're rich. You'll try something else. But when you're poor, well, I'm hungry. I need to eat, so I'm going to try it. Yeah. Indeed, the Pomodoro technique, too. Right, yes. You got a bit lost. That's okay, Waleed. So all I'm trying to say, Waleed, is that throughout human history, humans are always a little bit afraid of new things, right? So the Luddites were a group of British factory workers that were afraid of the new technology called the loom, Loom. A loom is a machine to make clothing or to make what's called textiles, which means clothing or blankets or things like that, right? So, people were afraid of the tomato. People were afraid of the loom. And now people are afraid of AI. New things are always something that people are afraid of. But that fear is a good thing because it keeps us. A little bit of skepticism is good. It's healthy because it means that you're more careful and cautious. But you don't want to be like the Luddites, who the Luddites fought so hard against technology, and technology won. So there's a fine point in there where you have to figure out how you can adjust to new technology, learn how to use new technology, and how technologies need to be developed for the betterment of the society in general, not for the betterment of one guy who happens to have $1 trillion. Okay? So, That story was it's also a story about English because it's about the word tomato. The word tomato comes from an old language from Mexico, the Aztec people. The word chocolate also comes from that language. The word avocado also comes from that language. I'm trying to think of what other words come from Nahuatl. Nahuatl, that's it. I was saying it wrong. Nahuatl, that's the right way to say it, I think. So the word chocolate, avocado, tomato, guacamole, cocoa, tamale, coyote, mesquite, all of those words come from this language. What kind of dishes do I like the most? Again, Can, it's like Duke Ellington said when they asked him what his favorite kind of music was. Duke Ellington said, "There's only two kinds of music, good music and the other kind." So for me, there's only two kinds of food, good food and the other kind. So every country, I don't care where you go, they have yummy food. So there's going to be some good food. There's going to be some food that I don't like. I know they presented initially Pomodoro as a fruit, no luck. Then a cook started doing salty soup with it, and the adventure was a lot more appreciated. Right. So it's a fruit scientifically. Scientifically, the tomato is a fruit. But the taste and the flavor profile of most tomatoes is more, it favors salty more than it does sweet. So, yeah, that's why when you buy a tomato, you don't find it with the fruits usually, you find it with the vegetables. Koreans like seasoned vegetables, but in the West, seasoned vegetables are considered poisonous. Seasoned vegetables. I think you mean fermented, like kimchi, right? The word you're looking for is fermented or pickled. Pickled or fermented. You can use either one. But actually, we have pickled things here a lot. Not as much as Korea, but Americans do pickle a lot of things. And in the past in America, we pickled a lot more. We pickled a lot more. Let me see. Let me see what you're talking about. One moment. Seasoned vegetables known as namwe are blanched, steamed, or stir-fried vegetables tossed with savory aromatics like sesame oil, garlic, or soy sauce. Okay. Yeah, not the same thing. But no, that's not necessarily true. So you said in the West, seasoned vegetables are considered poisonous. I don't know where you heard that, but when we make spinach, we usually make it with garlic. When we make many steamed vegetables, we make them with garlic, many of them. Not with soy sauce. Soy sauce is an Eastern thing. It's not a Western thing. But we do use garlic a lot. Who created English letters? Well, we talked about that earlier, Zori. English letters are very old. They come from. I'll bring up the picture again. Let me find it. Wait a minute. Wait, is that it? No. There it is. Look at this. This is where the English alphabet comes from. Okay, so this is the date, right? So 1750 BCE, right? And then here is modern English. Okay, so in 1750 BCE, this is a language that was called Proto-Sinaitic, something like that. And you can see it's mostly like shapes. Like, look at this one, like a person, right? But guess what? This is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, right? So look, this doesn't look anything like the English alphabet. But if you go down to this one, this is Phoenician language in 1000 BCE. A, B, C, D. Now here's Archaic Greek. A, B, C, D. And here's Latin. A, B, C, D. And here's Roman. A, B, C, D. And modern A, B, C, D. Okay? Wild vegetables. I'm not sure what you mean, Anna, because like I said, like greens, I think is usually what you're talking about, is greens that are sautéed or steamed or blanched with garlic and soy sauce and maybe sesame oil. You know, I mean, that's kind of all over East Asia, that's a very common style of cooking, right? In a very similar way, right? Someone told me that to speak English and have good pronunciation, you need to keep your tongue in the middle of your mouth and be able to pronounce. I'm not sure what they mean for. Did you finish your sentence? So I'm not sure. As far as keeping your tongue in the middle of your mouth, that's not entirely true because there are many letters and sounds that you must move your tongue into different positions. Like the letter R. R, the tongue position on R is interesting because the tongue, the back of your tongue, the sides of the back of your tongue will press up against your teeth when you finish the R. That's my tongue is up against my teeth, like curved a little bit, right? So no, or the letter L, la 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 la. It has to go to the top of your mouth for the L sound, right? So I don't think that, I think that's far too simplistic to say. It sounds like somebody who doesn't know about linguistics. Amelia, you have to remember that when you ask the average person about language, they only know language like an average person. So it's better to find somebody who knows a little bit more, a little deeper, more into the linguistics of it, not just the language. Linguistics and language are not the same thing. I get everything on the internet quickly for you. Well, if it's not in my head, then yes, I'll find it on the internet for you. More bracken. Oh, okay, maybe, Anna, maybe. There could be, maybe there are some vegetables that you consider to be edible that we don't. That happens. Like one of my favorite vegetables is a Chinese vegetable called kongxing sai. And I love that vegetable. It is so delicious. And I wanted to grow it in my garden back in America, but you're not allowed to. It's considered an invasive plant here. So I can buy it, but they won't have the roots won't be on it so that I can't grow it. Yeah, I love kongxing sai. Can I say something about UFOs? Johnny, I'll tell you what I'll say about UFOs. I believe they exist, but at this point, I'm disappointed in them. Because if they do exist, for about 100 years, we have been talking about if they exist or not. And if they do exist and they've been sitting around here for this whole time knowing that we talk about whether they exist or not and they still haven't shown themselves to us, to me there's something very, very, very weird about that. I think they are real, but why haven't they decided to make themselves known at this point? Because nearly everybody does kind of believe that they exist. Most people think, there's something, but they don't know what. So it's just silly at this point. So, aliens, if you're listening, for crying out loud, get it over with already. We're impatient. I'm tired of the question. Just show yourselves already so that we can be done with it. Can we just be, I want to finish that question. So just show yourselves and then we can say, do they exist? Yes, they do. Now we can move on. Take care, Esther. Take care. You'll be starting your vacation soon. Yes, well, I could use one too. Hello, Belen. Yeah. So, yeah. I just heard a story the other day that was a really fun story that it's supposed to be real. There's a story about a guy who was flying a plane. I think it was the 1970s, and he was flying a small plane, and he was a student. So he was taking his first solo flight, right? His first solo flight in a small plane. And when he got up into the air, he was supposed to just do a very simple go up, turn around, come back, and land. That's it. That's all he was supposed to do. But when he got up there, suddenly the plane, took control of itself, and he couldn't turn it, he couldn't go up, he couldn't go down, he couldn't do anything. And he was trying to call the radio on the radio to say help, hey, I don't know what's going on, and nobody answered. And then he fell asleep. He felt himself fall asleep, and he fell asleep. And then when he woke up later, he was still flying the plane. The plane is still in the air flying, and he woke up, and he didn't know if it was 1 minute or 1 hour or 10 hours or 2 days. He didn't know how long he'd been asleep for. But when he woke up, suddenly there was somebody on the radio saying, hello. And he said, oh, hey, I don't know what's going on. I think I just fell asleep, and I don't know how long I've been asleep for. And the guy on the radio said, are you alone? And the pilot said, yes, I'm alone. And the reason why the guy said, are you alone, was because when he woke up from his sleep, he noticed that he was flying over the ocean, but the place that he took off from, there was no ocean anywhere near him. So there was no way he could have ever flown to an ocean in the amount of time that he was in the air. He didn't have enough fuel, nothing. But somehow he was now over open ocean flying a plane. And the pilot that fell asleep, when he was asleep, apparently, he had been talking the whole time to the person on the radio in the tower. But when he was talking to him, he was using a voice that was very monotone, like a robot kind of a thing. And it said something like, this pilot is not in control of his own voice. We are using his voice as a microphone to talk to you because your technology is too primitive. Something like that. And this was a long time ago, and this story is actually, it's crazy. And they said your species is the only species in the universe that uses violence against each other the way you do, and that you will probably go extinct because of what you do. And they said that. This was in the 1970s. So all I'm saying is that happened in the 1970s. And if that's true, then it's like, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. And, at this point, I think most people would just show. I just show in the sky so that we can all just be done with it. I'm tired of the question. I'm tired of the question. That's the only thing about it. Okay, let's see. Today, America has a great game against Australia. Well, that sounds fun. Maybe I'll watch that one. Disclosure Day movie would just clarify something about what we believe. Disclosure Day. I don't think I know that one, Bellin. What about Area 51? I think Area 51 exists, but I think Area 51 is mostly what's called a PSYOP. A PSYOP means a psychological operation, so it's something that's designed to make you feel something or believe something for their strategic advantage. And to making the world believe that we have a secret base where we have secret things, where we do secret technology and secret alien stuff, there is a lot of strategic value in making people believe that. So whether it's true or not, I think partly true. We probably have a bunch of technology there. They probably do some advanced things there, but it's probably not nearly as crazy as everybody thinks it is. But they make you believe it is, or they let you believe that it is, because it gives them an advantage if you believe that this thing is some sort of secret crazy base with secret crazy technology. That's an advantage that they will use. Wow, we're talking about lots of weird things now today. Usually you ask me English questions, but today we're talking about UFOs and Area 51. My YouTube channel. So yes, Sarah, here is my YouTube channel. And courses. I am getting ready to start my own course soon. Like, I teach private lessons. Okay? So if you want to study with me, you can, if you're willing to pay me, or if you're able to pay me, then yes, I will teach you, and I create a special course just for you. But I also have a course that I'm going to be doing soon that's based on my book, the chapters in my book. So this course, I'm hoping to make a video course that you can buy, where you can just download the video, pay a couple dollars and download the video and watch it like a series, right? So, or you can pay me and have one-on-one private lessons with me. All right, let's see. Oh, the what's his name again? Admiral Byrd. That's the one with the guy who went to like the inner Earth, right? Now that one I think is totally no. That one, physics does not support the possibility of that being true. There are a bunch of people who have said things like that in the past, and there's still stories they talk about in the North Pole, right? Like in the Arctic, they found some cave in the Arctic that goes so far down, and there's a whole forest and there's a whole civilization down there. I don't think so. I don't think that I have not seen the physics that would make that possible. No, I could be wrong, but I haven't. That's under my understanding. That's not possible. Okay. I don't know where it's going to happen, Waleed. Okay. All right. Okay. So, would anyone like to come on stage and ask me a question? Would anyone like to come on stage and talk to me? If you do, then I will turn on the stage requests. But you have to have a question, okay? That's the only thing I require, is that you have to have something to talk about. Avocado is a fruit too, but we treat it as a vegetable. Yeah, avocado is like not a fruit or a vegetable. I think avocado is closer to a fat. It's delicious, but it's creamy, almost more like a fat, and it is a fat. Like you can cook with it. It's a good oil, right? Yeah, it's more like a protein or a fat than it is a fruit or a vegetable. Yeah, anyway. Nobody's raising their hand. Is was expected correct? If it is, how? It's in, yeah, that's, of course it's correct. This was expected. It was expected. So it's just using the helping verb to be, right? Was is a form of to be, right? And then it's using the past participle version of expect, expected. So I don't know why you're confused by that. It's just past tense, but it's a passive voice. It's a passive voice in the past tense. So, the reason why it's passive is because you are talking about in this the sentence, the structure, it focuses not on the thing that was being done. Or no, I'm sorry, not from the who, but to the thing. So, for example, if I say the storm was expected to hit on the coast on Tuesday, the storm was expected to hit. So, what are we talking about? Which one is, what are we talking about? We're talking about the place, but the storm is passively hitting it, right? It's being hit by the storm. I should say that. That's passive. It's being hit by the storm. Okay? Can you use it with I? If you said I was expected at 1 o'clock, yes, that's correct. It means in the past tense. They thought that I was coming at 1 o'clock, but I came at 2. I was expected at 1 o'clock. I was expected to pass the test. All my friends think I'm very smart, so they expected me to pass the test. I was expected to pass the test. Okay? Tip culture in the U.S. has affected from the U.K. What do you mean? Do you mean the U.K. started doing it because we did it? Should we use the word for after fit? You don't always know. Does it fit? Yes, it fits. Okay? But sometimes we say, this is a meal fit for a king. So that means you have a lot of food, right? A lot of food. So it looks like the king is about to eat. It's a meal that's fit for who? For the king. This looks like it's for him. Okay? So, or you could say, other examples would be, you also could say, she runs every day to stay fit. She runs every day to stay fit. Or he is fit for this job. He is fit for this job. He's appropriate. He can do it. But we also say, I need to measure this to cut it so that it, no. Wait, let me think of a good way to put it. I need to cut it correctly to ensure a tight fit for the door. It's a hard word, hard sentence, but I'm cutting a door and I need to cut it just right so that it's a tight fit for the door. Okay? Let me think. So most of the uses of fit don't have for. Okay? Marco finally wants to talk to me. Marco, are you available to talk? Hello, Marco.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you,
How are you
man?
today? Everything's fine here.
Oh, it looks like a beautiful day.
I had work. You hear me?
Yeah.
Today's my final day of work. I have a free week next week, so
Oh, that's nice.
I'm officially in vacation.
Ah, are you going anywhere?
Uh, yes, I'm going with my wife and son and my brother-in-law and his daughter to a camping,
Ah,
doing camping
okay. So
in Grosseto.
are you going far
No,
away or just close by?
Tuscany, in Italy. No, we stay with in Italy. We stay in Italy, but in another region in
Another
Tuscany.
region. Oh, okay. All right.
Another region. Tuscany is famous for Florence and so on, but there's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
little city which is Grosseto, which
Sure.
is at the south part
Okay.
of Tuscany, and it's near the sea. So they have this pines. It's forest of pines
Do you know what we
They
call
have
it? If
bungalows below that.
sometimes when people have a vacation but they don't go anywhere far away, they just stay at home or they stay in their city. Do you know what that's called?
No?
We call that a staycation. Staycation.
Vacation.
Yeah, because you're on vacation, but you didn't really go anywhere. Maybe you just stayed at home and you just relaxed at home, or maybe you're just in your city. You went to another part of your city, but
But
you didn't
I'm
go
in
far
Rome. I'm
away.
in Rome, truly. So I'm having a 200 kilometers trip.
Yeah, so that's not a
200
staycation.
kilometers.
Yeah, that's a
Just
vacation. Yeah, what you're doing is a
100
vacation.
miles. Not that much. 100 miles
Yeah, but
far
if you're
from
just
here.
in your own city, then we call that a staycation.
No, it's not my city.
Yeah.
I changed the region, but you know, Italy is not that long. So with respect
Yeah.
to US, so with an hour or 2 hours you're in the mountains.
Yeah,
So
sure.
maybe at a lake, maybe you change the region, or maybe you're on an island.
Yeah,
We
sure.
have different distances here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
When you speak about 20 hours trip by car for us is like going to, I don't know, Sweden, or
Yeah,
it's
like
incredibly
you know,
far for us.
from where I live, I used to go to Chicago pretty regularly, and that's about 5 or 5.5 hours to drive. But for me, that was like, that's not that
Yeah, for
much.
you,
That's not
yeah,
that much at
not that
all.
much.
Yeah, but to go to
5 hours,
New York is like 14 or 15 hours. To go to Miami, Florida is about 21 hours. And to go to Los Angeles would be about 29 hours. And I've done all of those.
uh, I don't know. How can you do 29 hours uh,
Well, you stop a lot.
trip?
You stop a
You
lot.
stop three times,
Yeah, you stop
three
in.
times.
That's the point. Like, see, you have to understand when you take a vacation in America, you can just get on a plane and fly there, sure. Yeah, and then you get there quickly and you just stay in that one place. But if you drive there, then you can take your time and see many, many, many things along the way, right? So that's the way many, many Americans will plan their vacation is like my father, when we were younger, we would say, okay, we're going to the beach. We're going to the beach in Florida, but here's my city and here is Florida down here. We're going to drive all the way and we're going to stop here and see this thing. And we're going to stop here and see this thing. And we're going to stop here and see this thing. Maybe you spend one day here, maybe one day here. So it's part of the fun is of
You
the
know.
road trip.
I've seen the scheme before about the letters, the evolution of alphabets
Mm.
in time, you
Mm-hmm.
know, from Egyptian time to us. And there's a point where it's written ancient Roman, you
Mm-hmm.
know. That ancient Roman is for me is Etruscan.
Right.
Etruscan is exactly the place where I'm going.
Oh.
I'm going to the Etruscan
Oh, wow. Cool.
part of Italy.
All right. Okay.
There are cities there around of Etruscan population. They have, I don't know, museums about that and
That's
towns with
cool.
frescoes inside. Everything that is about Tarquinia is the main city. Nowadays, it's called. It changes the name in time because in medieval time it was Corneto, but it turns into the Etruscan original name, which is Tarquinia, and the same in Maremma, where I'm going. And I want to ask you something because you said I have to ask you something. So I'd like you to please hear this joke I brought, and I have it translated with AI
Okay.
to English. So I'd like you to please, if you have time, hear what AI said translated and just correct if there's
Okay. Okay.
something
I'll
you don't
try.
like,
I'll try.
and make your comment if you like the joke.
Okay.
Okay? It's a
Okay.
story,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little story about three deceived men. deceased man. It is, I don't know if it's deceased better than deceased, which are passed away,
Deceased. You could just say dead.
deceased, dead.
Yeah, you could say
Three dead, dead
three
men.
dead guys. Yeah, three dead guys.
Three dead guys stand before Saint Peter
Okay.
to be judged. To be judged. He is the one who decides their fate, and he has their assumes right in front of him. So their stories. I have written in Italian curricula to say their stories written, and the AI had chosen to say resumes. So the first man was a banker,
Uh huh.
and Saint Peter looks at him and says, I read here that you did nothing but take coffee breaks. You always use your meal vouchers to pay at the bar, and you never left a single tip.
Okay. Okay.
You will be condemned.
Yeah.
Condemned, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
For your retribution, you will be a bartender
Ah.
in your next life.
Okay.
I brought completely. I was reading the first time that thing. I brought in Italian completely different. I said it was a contrappasso. Contrappasso is a word meaning
Yeah.
you have to pay in hell
Right.
or in
Right. Right.
another
Right. Right.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So the AI has chosen this for your retribution. You will be a bartender. Okay. The
Yeah.
second man.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ah, no. As you like. You want to comment now? Comment.
Well, okay. I'll just say retribution is okay. You could say your penance, your retribution, your punishment.
The punishment.
There is another word. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Okay, so the banker is going to be a bartender in next life
Uh huh. Uh huh.
as a condemned,
Right. Uh huh. As a punishment. Right.
as a punishment.
Yeah.
The second man was a government worker. Saint Peter frowns. Frowns would be like something like this. I don't know. Frowns and says, "I see that you always abuse family care leave just to go to the beach and enjoy long weekends." I don't know if you understand that translation.
Say that one more time for me.
I see, that is what St. Peter said. I see that you always abuse family care
Uh
leave,
huh. Uh huh. Okay.
which is a law. Here in Italy, we have a law,
Uh huh.
which is to care
Right.
your family members when they are old
Right.
or they have, I don't know,
Right. So they abandoned their family
some
when they
problem.
needed them. Yeah.
So you can go out from work to help your family members
Right.
if they're old. I don't know. AI translated like this: abuse family care
Uh huh.
leave.
Uh huh.
I don't know
Okay.
if
Yeah, that could
this is
work.
correct. You have something like that?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
How can you say that?
we don't have a law that says everybody has to take care of their parents or their elderly or whatever, but it's one of those things where put it this way. If if your grandfather or grandmother is in a nursing home, then they have to take care of them at the standard of care, that they have to give them a good standard of care. And if they don't, then that's called elderly abuse.
No, this is not the point. The point is that you can leave your work for hours or a day off to help your parents.
Oh, no, we
It's
never
like a
have that.
permission. It's a permission. We have here in Italy. And this is
Yeah.
always used by people with a contract. So if you are in a private, big groups, or with,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's why I was
this
confused.
example, a government worker
Yeah.
have this day off three times a month. Three times a month you can go help your old father or grandmother.
In America, your own mother could be dying, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay, I can accept that in America with that joke. So it's only
Yeah,
a translation of an Italian joke.
that part won't really work because yeah, like I'm
That
sorry, but
don't
it's
work.
true. Like, uh, you
You don't
know,
know what's that.
yeah, it's
So
true.
consider
They
that
don't give
one.
you a day off for anything. Nothing. You
Okay,
know, you
consider that one
there was
is an employee of I don't know, a minister.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and he had 3 days monthly to go help his grandmother. And St. Peter said, "You always go to the beach and enjoy long weekends with these days off. So while your grandmother paid for her caregiver out of her own disability pension,
Uh huh.
understood?
Yeah.
So, this is St. Peter, you will be punished. And rightfully, you will be a caregiver next life.
Okay. That one.
You
That one
understand that?
works. Yeah, that
Okay.
one works.
The government worker turns to be next life a caregiver.
Uh huh.
So the last man had always worked as a bartender. So St. Peter smiles and says, "Well done. Have always been humble and you served others throughout your life. You are pardoned and you can choose what you want to be in your next life."
So,
Unluckily,
yeah.
unluckily.
So that's the one part that doesn't work. And then the other word that you need to use is you said resume, it's resume. Resume. It's a French word. It's like CV, your curriculum vitae, right? It means like, what have you done? What is your work? What's your past? That's
Resume.
yeah,
Okay,
resume.
thank you,
Yeah.
Mark.
So in Europe and in Asia, they usually say, "This is my CV." My CV. This is my CV, curriculum vitae. But in America, we never use. Well, we don't usually use CV. We usually say resume.
Resume.
Yeah.
A French word. Oh,
Yeah, a
how
French
cool.
word.
How cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So this is my joke. I invented that joke. I want to joke around myself because I'm a banker too. So
So I'm going to tell you a
I
little
have all this.
joke that I heard the other day that I thought was really funny. It was a little boy and his father, and they were at the kitchen table, and the little boy is talking to the father, and he says to the father, "Dad, what's the difference between a shower curtain and toilet paper?" And the shower curtain is the thing that they put up to keep the water from coming out when you're taking a shower, right? So the joke is, what's the difference between a shower curtain and toilet paper? And the father says, "I don't know. What?" And the kid says, "So you're the one."
That's cool. That's cool. A good one. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty
I'm
good
going
one.
to translate that in Italian and edit it to my friends in
Yeah,
English.
that's a good one because it's so short. It's so short and just quick and funny, you know? Yeah.
I want to show you. I want to show you something. I don't know if I can flip the camera. I don't think I could do the that
There is a way to
as an
do
off.
that. There's a button on the screen. You have to find the menu buttons, but there is a camera flip button in the menu on Hello Talk there somewhere.
No.
No, that's to turn it on and off, but there's another menu button that you should be able to see. Turn in the bottom, look towards the bottom of it. Oh no. Ah, Marco went off stage. Oops. Marco, you can raise your hand again if you don't know where it is now.
Thank you
I haven't used it in a while,
for
so I'm not
inviting
sure.
me. I do a flip of ancient times
Okay,
like this.
that's all right. Yeah, that's good. Oh, okay. And what is
I
that?
want to show you that pass was, that is what we call a squared Colosseum.
Ah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's cool. So, how old is that one?
It, it's a squared one, 120 years,
Oh, so it's
not
not
that
that old.
much.
Okay,
It's a modern monument.
so what do they
But Romans
do in there?
called it a square Colosseum because it's something that was inspired by the Colosseum, but in modern times. So
But it's not for games.
no, it's in marble.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like, what do they do there? Right? Like the
Now
Colosseum was for the games, right?
now
The games of the
they
Colosseum.
there's a famous Moda house which have taken it from the for a period, only for a period. They borrow, not borrow, but lend it,
Ah, okay,
something like that. And
okay.
it's a Moda house, so it's only something they use as
A model.
offices
Okay.
and
Ah,
institutional
okay, okay, okay.
events, something like that.
So it's just the
But
architecture at this point. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
this is that's 1920, like something like 1920,
Oh, wow. Okay, that's
something like
cool.
that.
That's
That
interesting.
that would that would have been the central palace for the exposition of Rome that at the at 1940, but unfortunately there was a Second World War, so that goes without the exposition.
I want to show you something. So, architecture in the United States a long time ago was so much better than it is today, and it was mostly because of Italian masons. And my school, in high school, I went to a school that was in this very old building that was just beautiful. This building was so amazing. It had the hallways were like 20 feet tall and they were marble everywhere and mosaic tile floors
Like
everywhere.
in Washington, for
Yes.
example.
Well, I'll show you the pictures. They had stained glass windows and archways. Like, look at this. You're gonna say, "Wow, this almost looks kind of like an Italian piazza or something." Let me show you. Hold on. So this is the outside of the building. Doesn't look too much like it. This is the outside of the building here, right? But then look at the stained glass windows inside, and then over here, this is marble. And look at the mosaic floors, and there's the tile. Here, look at this.
You know,
Look at
I don't know
that.
if it's New York or I don't know. What's that? New York?
Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati. Oh, okay.
Yeah, look.
So I see
Wait.
the Ghostbuster movie. Remember the palace
Yeah,
where it
right.
was
That's right. Yeah, like the
something
Ghostbusters
like
movie.
that.
That's right. Yeah. So the architecture a long time ago was quite different and it was much, much, much better. Let me see if I can show a good picture. Like, this is what I mean is look at that. That's mosaic. All of that is mosaic tile. You know what that is? How do you say mosaic in Italian?
Mosaico.
Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah. And look at the archways. That's marble. Marble archways. You know? And it's
You have to scroll a little above.
oh,
Scroll a
wait,
little.
yeah, you
I
can't
only
see
see
it. Wait,
the
wait, wait,
middle
wait, wait,
one.
wait. Yeah, like let me make it bigger. Hold on. I think I can make it bigger this way. There. Can you see it now? A little bit?
Yes,
Is that
a
better?
little.
There.
It's an arc in marble.
Oops.
It's in
Yeah.
marble.
Yeah, it's marble here, archways. The archways are marble, and then this is mosaic tile floor, and the walls were marble, and they had the stained glass windows, and
Beautiful,
yeah, it
beautiful.
was absolutely beautiful, really beautiful. And it was one of these things where this building was very old, and so some of my friends went to high school at a new, fancy, nice building, brand new, right? But I loved my building. It had character.
Nowadays we have to be cheaper. No
Yeah,
marble.
yeah. There's
We have
no
invented
character.
other materials.
Yeah,
No more marble.
yeah. That's right.
Here is in that part of Rome. Is the entire district here was invented to be the exposition, but there was no exposition because of the Second World War.
Oh wow.
So while in Paris they had the exposition of Paris when they built the Eiffel Tower.
Ah, I see.
So they had the exposition I don't know if it was in 1900 or 1910. I don't know where exactly, or the century before. I don't know. The exposition of Paris. They had the elevators. They invented
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
elevators, and they had the Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower.
Yep.
So they initially they said that we felt that it has to be removed, no, after the exposition, but it's still there. As recently Trump had said in an interview, no, you you heard Trump saying that he had done that in the White House,
Oh,
that
right.
sort of a dome he has in the
Yeah.
White House, and he he said that would be removed or maybe not as the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
So this is the Eiffel Tower of Italy.
I
We
see.
had done that building for the exposition,
I see.
but unluckily, no exposition
I see.
was in 1940
I
because
see.
of the war,
I see.
and so we finished the building in 1960
I see. And
or
Marco, by the way,
1950.
my rule is that if you want to come on stage, you either one of two things. Either you have to be a regular, somebody that I know who's always here, or you have to have a question or a topic. That's it. So you are always welcome
I
because
had my joke,
yeah,
so
yeah,
thank you, Mark.
but still, you're always welcome on my stage.
Appreciate
Always.
your help, and so
All right, well, take care, my friend. I'll see you next time. All right.
let's go ahead with
All
someone
right.
else. Thank
Take
you,
care, my
Mark.
friend. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye bye, my friend.
Yeah, so that's the only thing, guys, is I just have that one little rule about coming on stage is if you're always here and I see you and you're always in my classroom, then you can always raise your hand. That's not a problem. Okay, you're part of the class. If you're part of the class, you can always raise your hand. But if you're new and you just came here and you don't know who I am and you don't know what we're doing, that's when you have to follow my other rule, which is that you can't come on stage unless you have a question. Question would be perfect, or some topic to talk about. Okay, sometimes people come on stage and they just say, hi, and they don't have anything to talk about or anything to ask. And there are 150 people in the room watching right now. So we need to have a topic or we need to have a question or something like that. All right. So that's it. That's all there is to it. All right. And Amir is still raising his hand. So I'm going to see if I can invite Amir and talk to him for a minute. Oh, no, Amir's gone. Okay. So if you are new, it looks like there are a lot of new people here. If you are new, then please go here to this file. This is my PDF file. Okay? Everything you want to know about me is in this file. So if you want to know who is this guy and what's he doing, it's in that file. If you want to know my schedule, when is he online, it's in the file. If you want to know my YouTube channel and my blog and my website, they are in the file. And I also gave 4 free articles about English in that file. Okay, so I have been on Hello Talk for about 13 years, almost 13 years. And I have about 90,000 followers, 91,000, something like that, 90,000 followers around the world. Yeah, I've been here streaming for like 5 years, something like that, 4 or 5 years. So if you're new, please get the file and read the file and you'll know what we do here. Okay? He is gone or he has gone. They're both correct. They're both different. He is gone describes a present situation of a person who has left. He has gone describes a past situation of a person who has left. He has gone to the store. So if somebody says, hey, where's Billy? Oh, he has gone to the store. So that means previously he left to go to the store, right? He is gone. Oh, where's Billy? Oh, he is gone. That means he's not presently here. That's it. Okay? Well, I would hope my English is good, Summer. I'm an English teacher. Okay, guys, I have been here for 2 hours and 34 minutes. So that's probably enough for today. All right? So I'm going to go, but please make sure you do follow and come back and see me again. And all you need to know about my rooms, my broadcasts, my classes, that it's a class. This is a classroom, okay? And I want you to treat this like this is a place where you can self-study, right? So you're teaching yourself English right now. But when you teach yourself, sometimes you have questions. When you teach yourself, you don't know. That's why you should ask me those questions. Okay? So study English by yourself, and then when you have questions, come here and ask me. Okay? And again, everything you need to know about me is in that file right there. Okay? So copy that link, Mario and Summer. Copy that link and paste it into your browser, and you'll find my schedule there. All right? All right. Okay, that's it for me, guys. I need to take a break. So, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening wherever you live in the world, and I'll see you next time. I'm usually here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? Sometimes I might have extra time, and I also do a Saturday sometimes. Okay? All right, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.